The ultimate guide on how to become a pro in Strife Battlefield guide series, here. We are finally starting the guide series on Strife Battlefield on how to make you a pro. I'll be covering all of the things such as the fundamentals and the meta and all those strats and what to pick and what have you. You know, I'm going to be covering all in this guide series. Now, the reason why it's a guide series is everything is not going to be in one video. There's so much stuff in this mode that I literally, the attention span, even for me, is just too much. So I'm going to be breaking it in parts. One video I'll be talking about like the summoning stones in particular and the UI and all of this stuff. I don't know how many parts I'm going to be doing it, so it will be in a playlist. You can watch it all from, you know, or jump to whatever part you want, or maybe you need some more clarity on. That's the whole idea. I obviously highly recommend you watching it from the beginning because it's kind of structured in a way that it kind of makes sense. So, I mean, you do you. This whole guide series is meant for newer players, or maybe you are a player who've been playing but you don't really know what to do, or maybe you've just been copying some builds but you don't really know why it works, right? You don't really know what a cookie cutter build looks like as a base framework and things like that. So I'm here, and this guide series exists to tell you that. And of course, always a caveat, all right? King God Castle changes often, all right, boys. So I have to say that. So in the future, if you're watching this video, Strife Battlefield might be completely freaking different. So fundamentally, usually more than not, they're the same. Like principle wise, just the ideas and the approach should be relatively the same, unless they just throw it out the window and then whatever, ripperoni. But this guide series exists. So for this video, as mentioned, is going to be in different parts. In this video, I'm just going to be kind of yapping. This is a yap video to start off, kind of like the history of Strife Battlefield, where it came from and things like that. And then in the next video, I will touch more on the UI and things like that. So keep a lookout on it, okay? You can skip through whatever part you want, but you know, this is just me trying to educate as much as possible on Strife Battlefield itself, how it works, and the UI, and starting from the bottom to top. So feel free to skip to wherever you want. So here it is. So let's start this bad boy. So history for Strife Battlefield. Oh man. So I'm not a numbers guy. I don't really remember when it got released, but this mode right here has seen some changes. So if you are on the main menu, okay, main menu here, this is my account, obviously. So main menu, you go down here, Battlefield, and then back in the day, you have Arena, and then you have Strife, right? So now they call it Battlefield, okay? Now it's the Battlefield, okay? And Arena and Strife exist in said Battlefield, right? And they kind of share the same shop and things like that. So to get to Strife Battlefield, you go to Battlefield down here in the tab, and then you go to Strife Battlefield, and then boom, you're in the menu, right? And this is how you queue in and things like that. And you we'll get to it. So right now it's just me yapping about Strife Battlefield and some of the history. So there's a little back button here, just FYI, and then you can go to Arena, what have you. This is just my Arena team, okay? Just don't copy it, all right? Don't copy it. It's just in this current meta. This is season 53. I forget to mention, this is season 53. So by the time you watch this video in the freaking future, it's probably season 157, and you're like, nah, what the heck are you running, right? This is season 53, boys, all right? Newest hero is Nyak. What can I say? The newest legacy just got released was the Sheldo one, and that just to give you a point of reference in the future if you're watching this, all right? That's how old it is. This team that I'm rocking right now, you know, people just see the stuff on the screen. I have to explain it, all right? This is just a cookie cutter team that we'll be rocking. All right, this is by no means the quote-unquote best team, but this is a solid framework for you to start kind of dipping your hands in Strife Battlefield. And this is something this is the cookie cutter that you'll see a lot around probably lower elos and things like that. So you see some people still rocking this in high elo, but that just FYI, that's what it is, all right? Just by no means this is the best team right now, all right? This is just something that I'm using for the guide series that we can to get started off, all right? Now that out of the way, so Strife Battlefield got released in beta form, and then there was a slew of problems, right? and there was a need to do Strife Battlefield guides, right? Like, oh, how does this freaking thing work? And I debated on whether to do it or not, and I decided to ultimately hold off on doing a series on it because the mode changed so much, and not only that, it had so many optimization issues. So if you guys have been playing Strife Battlefield for a while, you know, laggy, and it's still laggy, especially if you're playing on an emulator. Right now I'm on an emulator, right? If you actually are playing on a phone that is a modern phone, it runs 10 times better, just FYI. So if you are playing competitive, you know, you definitely want to play on a phone if your phone is actually good enough. And that's just the reality of Strife Battlefield right now. But if you play Strife Battlefield on an emulator, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be laggy. And now, don't get me wrong, it is definitely way better than what it was back in the day. Now, the only reason why I'm doing the guide series now and we're starting it is because I actually feel like Strife Battlefield right now, or at least the game state in general, the game state and also Strife Battlefield in particular, of course, it is stabilizing, meaning that I don't really, they haven't really touched it in a while. B, I don't really foresee them changing it. And C, right now, it's in a point where it needs to be adjusted and fixed, but the solutions aren't easy right? And that is where the Strife Battlefield is. And right now it's optimized to a point where it's actually playable. Yeah, of course it's still laggy, but it's less laggy than before. It's still laggy, but it's at least playable laggy. Like I said, there's still a lot of issues, but it's in a playable state, and I feel like it's stabilized enough to where I don't really foresee any crazy changes. The latest change they did to it was the addition of fates and things like that. So like, imagine if I did a guide when it first released or whatever. Obviously it was like near impossible to do that because like you can barely get a game and you get lagged out and all this stuff. So that is mainly the other reason. It was just unoptimized. It's still unoptimized. The game is unoptimized. Yeah, so I just feel like it's stabilized enough to where I feel like these guides that I'm going to be putting out will be more or less relevant, at least to a degree over time. So one thing I don't like doing is I don't like putting guides out for something that I feel like is going to change over time. Like, for example, legacy system. I haven't really covered legacy, and also legacy is very a sensitive touch point, and the way they're going about legacies and things like that, I don't necessarily agree with. And I also foresee it changing, right? So I'm not going to be necessarily covering legacies because of that. So that's kind of giving you where I'm coming from. So right now, Strife Battlefield is very, very fun, very, very popular, and there's just not many guides around. So that is why I'm here, right? And that is why I'm making a guide today. So that is the history of a little bit about Strife Battlefield. I mean, like, it came out in beta season, it got released, there's several seasons, there's a bunch of changes, now it's more stabilized. I mean, what more can I say? As mentioned, this is going to be broken down into a guide series for several different videos covering different topics, and the reason why that is because there are a lot of things going on in this mode that you have to like take an account for, and you got to do it fast. It's a live environment. If you're there, you're looking at this like, what the heck is heat? I have to like form my freaking team. I already have issues forming my own team. What do I form? I gotta look at my opponents. What monsters do I buy? I gotta buy the monsters. I gotta send them. What do I send them? What comp are they running? There's a lot of crap. And for rightly so, is that a lot of players who play this, they kind of play whatever, and it's a very fun mode, right? And they just kind of do what they think, or they copy other builds, but they don't necessarily know why these heroes work, right? Or why it's the meta, or why certain things are picked and things like that. Now, it's funny because in my latest tier list video, I always say that Strife Battlefield, I mean, it's the truth. I don't know what else to say. If you are a competitive player in Strife Battlefield, you are trying to climb high elo, okay? It is zero skill, actually zero skill, and you literally just need to put in the time. Like right now, you can see right here, I am, what am I, 57? The ladder moves so freaking fast every day because people are just spamming games. And each game is about like 30 minutes. It depends on, it's depending, right? But you are playing like 20 to 30 minutes per game. per game. And the amount of points that you get and how fast the ladder moves, you literally need to spam games. And you literally just need to spam games and aim for first or second, right? And of course, I haven't really talked about like point distribution, first and second and all that, but this is just kind of like yapping about the game, all right, for this first video. But in high elo, it's kind of like the argument of like, oh, if you're in high god in arena, and you have a lot of players who speak about it pre-king, right, like 2000, right, they're just trying to reach 2000, right? So that's the perspective that I'm coming from, just so please understand that. But in the in-game form, okay, if everyone has similar knowledge, all right, it is literally just putting in time type of thing. All right, just to let you know, that is how the game state in high Strife Battlefield is. All right, not talking about like if you are castle level 30 and you're trying to make a Bordier comp work in Strife Battlefield. Okay, that is a different kind of world that you're trying to approach in Strife Battlefield. I'm talking about this is in game. This is what your Strife. This is the current meta. This is how it is, boys. All right, this is how it is. It is zero. I'm telling you, it is zero skill if you have all the knowledge. All right. Mainly it's the knowledge part, because everything that I talk about, like in terms of monsters, assaults, what to send, what's good, how to form your team. How to form your team needs to be second nature. You need to know how to form your team. That is milestone 1 that you have to get over. You have to understand what monsters that are really good to send to your opponents. You need to know what strats are good, right? You need to know when to send those monsters and things. There's a lot of things that needs to be second nature to you, right? And that only comes with time and experience. And once everyone gets there at some point. If you play enough and you're whatever, right? Like equal level, everyone gets to that point. And it's just a literally amount of how much you can play per day that you can rack up points and climb. That's literally it. That's literally like right now I'm rank 57. It climbs so fast. Like tomorrow, if I don't play today, tomorrow I'll be 68 or some crap, right? And then if I still don't play, I'll be ranked 70. And then another day I'm busy, I don't play, I'm not even ranked anymore, I'm back in king. Like that is how fast rank 50 and below, I'd say like 45 and below moves. Like it moves so quick, and it's just insane. It's insane how fast this ladder moves. And the reason why it moves so fast is because it's so easy to get points. It's because once you have the knowledge, once you know all those things are second nature to you to some degree, you literally just get points. You aim for first and second, you get points, and you climb. That you put in 20-30 minutes and boom, you climb. And that is partly why it's so played. It's because it's satisfying, because you can climb quick. And also that is that it's a live high econ environment. It's not like Invasion where you're stuck with 20 rounds and things like that. You can make huge, large formations, right? Which is really fun, and you have the strats and all that. It's very fun. So that's me yapping, boys. That is me yapping. So that is the first part, is me yapping. I think I got that out of there. I'll always be yapping. The second thing that I want to be going over in this video is going to be actually the menu, the Strife menu, not the in-game menu. So we're going to be going into some of the Strife, what you're looking at in the game menu, okay? And then next video, I'll probably going into the in-game menu, the UI, right? So Strife Battlefield. So let's go to the Strife menu and the UI on the outside of the game. So this is your main lobby screen, and then down here you see Battlefield, right? So Battlefield, and then boom, you'll probably see this screen first, and then you have to go to Strife Battlefield, and then boom, you're here. So this is Strife Battlefield, and if you've ever played League of Legends TFT, all right, Teamfight Tactics, it's very similar to that. It's very similar to that, right? So if you are familiar with TFT, you might be a little bit right at home. You understand like the mechanics a little bit more, right? So it is a live environment, this is a totally unique subset of the game, right? This is a totally unique mode, and it's a live environment, and you face off of 3 other players in a live environment, and it's timed, and other people, you are facing other people who are doing the same things that you are, and you guys finish the game or whatever. That's why the run times are so long. It's a 20, like 30-minute game, like I told you. So it's a very high time investment, right? But it's very fun. It's very fun. So this is the Strife Battlefield main menu. We're going to be working from top to bottom and probably looking at the face value things and then looking at the buttons. So the top is Strife Battlefield and what the season is. This is the season counter when it ends. And then we have league seasons. So these are half seasons. All right. So each season is run on half seasons now. I know, it's dumb. I hate this league stuff, this half season stuff. I hate it, but that's a whole different thing. So seasons and how they work and league seasons and all that. I did make a video on the league season stuff. Look it up on my channel. I'll go through the math and kind of show you how that works, but it's very confusing if you don't know where you're looking at. But just know that there's a league season system, and each season runs on a competitive half season timeline. Okay, so the first half, this is your first half rank, and this is your second half rank. So last half I was ranked 40, and then this half as currently live is 57 of season 53. If that makes sense, boys. And this is how many days left until the season ends. And then season 54 happens, and then there's another half season. There's a half season 1, a half season 2, and then so on. So that is the season, I guess, panel here. Here is the hero adjustments. Let's skip over that for a second. Let's jump down here to the formations. Now, formations, this is the same thing as any other mode. I'm not going to go to it too much. So this is like you make your team, which is directly correlated to your barracks, right? So whatever you have in your barracks down here, right down here, whatever you have in your barracks, your teams, this is where you can select said team. Right, so I have this team loadout made on team slot 5, so I can select it, right, and what have you, and they'll bring it up, right. I'm not going to talk about all this because this is not directly related to Strife, but if you've been playing kinggodcastle, you know what these means. This is from your Dominion buildings or whatever. This is your estimated combat level or whatever the crap it is, and then you have your team, and then you have all your relics and your altar setups and all that. So that's what that is, and then you have hero stats adjustments, which only applies to Strife Battlefield. So if you click, so the thing right here in the middle is the hero adjustments for your team that you have selected. And for hero adjustments, I believe I don't know if they have a set time frame which they adjust the hero adjustments, but for Strife Battlefield, they apply adjustments to the stats uniquely. So you can see that for Strife Battlefield right now, Hedong has a the takes more damage by 25%. Taeson takes more damage by 10% and does less damage by 5%. Red is bad boys, green is good, and then so forth. So you can kind of read that. Male right now has a damage reduction of 5%. And then you can see, so this applies to only your team, right? This is just like a quick view menu to show on your team right now what are the adjustments. You can see the entire list of the adjustments by clicking this eye icon right here. Right, and you can scroll through and see all the adjustments. So you can be like, oh, this person has green, and that means that they do more damage and take less damage and all that. Now, that is all to say, I'll tell you right now that this is them trying to balance Strife Battlefield. It is more or less negligible. And the reason why is because you have the meta, and the meta consists of mighty blocks. So until they change the meta, the damage bonus will be pretty much negligible. The only reason why these even would matter, okay, there's only like one case where it actually matters, is if the meta picks have these damage bonuses adjusted. Right, so directly related to the meta picks, all right, and I'm not gonna go through the meta in this video. That's gonna be like near the end, right, where I talk about the metas and all that, and that only in that case, like say there's 3 heroes, and those 3 heroes are they're the Strife meta. Only then do these bonuses kind of get I guess considered, right? Like, oh, okay, so this character has 5% damage reduced, right? is that better than this hero that has 20% damage increase? That's not going to happen. But Awesome Piece is very much aware what the meta is, and this is them trying to balance that. It doesn't really work, to be honest. It doesn't really work because they know what the meta is. The meta picks are getting reduction. There is never going to be green, boys. It's never going to be green. all the main meta picks, and there's not many main meta picks, by the way, and we'll get to it in the future. But this is more or less negligible. And of course, I'm speaking in high competitive Strife Battlefield. This is what, if you want to climb really high and have consistent games, you're playing the meta, and there's a certain way. Like I said, 100% knowledge and things like that. Now, if you have like 1,000 points pre-king, you can, sure, you can look at these hero adjustments and make it work. I'm talking about the current meta in Strife Battlefield right now, boys. Okay, high meta and things like that. So that just perspective. Okay, perspective. That is what I'm looking at. Okay, so that is it for the menu. So let's go to the buttons now. So here's the treasure chest with a timer. So this is a timer. For every day you get some free chests. Okay, the first and second chests you get free for every day, and this is just a timer. So whenever you finish a game of Strife Battlefield, you get these reward chests, and then you get to spend food for getting the reward and things like that. This is just a timer to let you know that you haven't claimed your daily free chests, right? And this is just a timer for that. Mine's about to come up because the reset's about to happen. This is friendly battlefield. So right now, regular mode right now, this is ranked mode, right? There's not an unranked mode. So if you just want to play for fun or whatever, you can only do friendly battles. Otherwise, it has to be ranked right here, and you click battle and then you start queuing in, right? So that's what happens. So friendly battle, if you click it, you can create one or join a friendly battle, right? So if you join a friendly battle, there's a code that you have to put in with your friend, right? Whoever you're trying to join, you can like actually join the lobbies and stuff like that. So if you click create, so let's see if it does it, right? So when you create a friendly battle lobby, you have your friendly battle code. So you give this code to your friend, they put it in, and then they join. You can have, like I said, total of 4 people. There's the reset that's happening. A total of 4 people in a game, including you, so 3 other players. And you can even put bots, and you can like put King God bots, Bronze bots, and things like that. In this series, I'm actually going to be doing a bot games just so it's easier for me to talk through, and we can exit and whatever and do stuff and just and play around with that. So you can put some bots, and then you can battle and you can practice like this, or you just want to play but you don't want to play humans or stuff like that, or maybe you get to the point where you hate playing against the actual meta, right? You just want to play stupid stuff, then play friendly battlefield or whatever, right? So this is a public pub match type of situation. So like I can play with you guys, for example, like, oh, let's play some pubs in Strife Battlefield, and you can do it here, right? So that's Strife friendly battles. Next one is gonna be rank. I'm gonna be covering that last. Rank rewards. Here are the rank rewards based on your milestones. So make sure you go here and claim your stuff for your milestones. Then you have your Battlefield shop. So they renamed it Battlefield, and this shop is the same shop that is shared with Arena, and it uses the same tokens. You get the same tokens. You get to spend on all the Arena stuff. Now it's a different topic, but they have moved some Arena relics, your typical ones, to the chest. So you have your region ones now here and things like that. But it is a shared pool now. It's the same shop as the Arena, and that is that. Now we're gonna be going to ranking. So like I said, league mode. It's based on a league season, and I'm not gonna go too depth, but a league season consists of 3 seasons. I know it's confusing. So when you click ranking, so right now, so if you click season ranking, you see here season ranking. Season ranking is the current ranking. This is your normal ranking that you are familiar with. Okay. The next one is league ranking, and you can see right here, each league has a name. Okay, right now it's League of Conviction, and League of Conviction is this duration, season 51, 53. So this season is 53. This is the last season. So that means at the end of this season, the league season will conclude. Does that make sense, guys? The leagues of conviction will conclude, and then rewards for that season will get distributed. Are you guys following me? So there are two rankings. You have the current season ranking. This is season 53. And then you have the league ranking, which is the overall big shebang ranking. All right. And there's a whole point distribution associated with this. And like you can see right now, I'm like ranked 20 something, I think. Yeah, ranked 20 something. So this is my confirmed points. This is how much I've been, that's me. This is how much I've been gathering, the left one. The right one is my current total points considering the current season's ranking, if that makes sense. And then if you want to go even further into it and see some more granular details about it, here's the eye icon right here, up here, right here. So if you click it, each league has a skin reward, a chroma specifically. They don't call it a chroma. It's a different skin actually. But you have, it's right now for Strife Battlefield, you get the Priya versions, right? And then if you are really wanting to know the point distribution, boom, here's the point distribution. Here are the rewards and all that. I'm not going to get to like, how do you get this skin and things like that. I do explain it in my league video. It's still relevant. They haven't changed it or adjusted. They should, but they haven't changed or adjusted. And then not only does Strife Battlefield have a league, Arena has its own league season going on. So if you want this skin, you have to grind Strife Battlefield to get the Priya King God Chroma, right? If you want it, of course you can get the other ones, but I try to get all of them, right? And I have been getting all of them. I'm not gonna stop. So if I wanted this, I have to grind Strife Battlefield for that. And if we go over to Arena, similar UI layout. If you go to League, if you go to I, boom, this season it is this league season in particular is Evan, right? So if I want Evan King God, this chroma right here, you can only get this if you are this one right here, right? League rank 50 or above. Then I have to grind Arena as well. So it's a lot of time commitment. And what it does is that it accumulates all of the points that you've gathered across 3 seasons. And remember, boys, each season is a half season. Man. So that means that every half season you have to play in place pretty high to get points. And they get the total of that, and that's your ranking in league. And that's the menu, boys. That is a menu. So once you've selected your team, right? You made your team, select the team, you click battle, and then you go in and queue. And when you queue, there's a little queue icon right here that pops up on the top left. I'm not going to click it right now. There's going to be a queue, and at times, and depending on where you are in the elo, usually it's pretty fast, but usually in the past there was like very, very long queue times, and now it's stabilized enough to where maybe you're in queue for a few minutes, right? So not bad. So when you queue in, you can't actually go into any other mode. You can still like adjust your barracks and things like that, but you're very limited, and that is that. Anyways, I think that is it for this part of the guide series. I just wanted to do a yap session, and then I wanted to talk about the menu UI out of game. Next video, we'll go in game, and then we'll probably talk more about the UI and things like that. And then after that, we'll go from there. I'm going to cover everything, guys. I'm going to be covering everything. So make sure you follow it. It'll be in the playlist on my channel. As always, leave a comment below if there's something specific you want to know about. In particular, like I said, I'll cover everything. So I'm pretty sure I'll cover it anyways. But let me know in the comments below just in case I don't. And jog my memory. But as always, thumbs if you liked this, subs if you loved it. And I'll see you next one, boys. Later.